Fuck perfectionism. I never enjoyed being alive. I need a fucking break from Italy. Hello, welcome from my kitchen in Poland. I got this chocolate pudding from Lidl. It wasn't so good, you know. It tasted like sand, low-key. But the star of today's video is this small packet. I always loved maracas as a kid. Probably because I'm tone deaf and I could never play like an instrument acceptably. And even with maracas, I mean, I don't hear rhythm, so no, I can't play it well or with others. But even the simplest, I don't know, xylophone is not very simple actually. It's quite complicated, and it is a misconception that it's easy to play the xylophone. But in general, like, I don't have a musical ear in my, like, not to save my life. And yeah, I liked maracas because they gave me the impression that I could play something. But yeah, maracas make sense if you are with other instruments, I think. And I just couldn't nail the rhythm. I would just count in my head, but the counting was like, I got it wrong. We're going to make water kefir. That's what in these tiny maracas. I have the instructions how to prepare kefir. Pour the content of the sachet in 2 liters of water with sugar and lemon juice. Let it ferment for 48 hours at room temperature. Inside the box you will find I don't have the box. I don't want to make it with lemon. I think I have some sugar somewhere. I don't let me put this somewhere else. And while I make this, I will explain to you why I decided to move to Poland. This move is not permanent. Oh, here is the sugar. And it basically comes down to I have the worst time in summer in Italy. Yes, in the past 10 years, it has become increasingly difficult to exist in summer where I live. I live in a very humid area. Is this sugar? It's sugar. Good. And there are people who are suffering way more than me, who don't have the freedom I have to move, don't have the disposable income. I'm not rich, and I have decided to basically make myself poor in order to prioritize my physical and mental health this summer. I am going to pay for this decision in other ways, and it didn't say how much sugar. How cute is this? Look, this is so cute. I stumbled upon a very, very nice apartment. Yeah, it's better now. And what else? Yes, I moved because I was miserable in Italy, and also I needed time away from my family, and I needed to feel like I had a life again, because where I am, like in the place I was born and raised, I feel like that is not my life, and that I don't have a life. I feel like I don't exist, and you know, there are problematic places to live. The world is full of difficult places to be. It is full of hardship, and I think the greater majority of people experience a very hard time being alive and existing in this hellscape that we call life. And it is a place that if I could easily remove myself from, I would. And I have been fighting with this since I was 10. I have felt depressed most of my life, and great part of that generally comes from the place I was raised in, and how dull and how little stimuli there are for someone like me. And I generally struggle with saying something like someone like me, because I don't want to feel like I am exceptional in any way. On the contrary, I think I am the opposite of exceptional, and I think I am just another boring white girl on the internet. And there is nothing original in what I feel. But I've always been someone who needed a lot of maintenance. Like, I would describe myself as high maintenance, in the sense that to be mentally well, I need to fill my life with things to do that stimulate me. And if I don't, my mental health just goes to hell very fast. And at the worst moments, I have taken decisions that were bad for me, for my finances, and for the people I love. And that was all me, and that was all me being like desperate to escape a situation that I felt like I had no escape from. And that was like the dullness, the boredom of where I come from. And I'm not saying that where I am right now it's particularly exciting, but there are a few things here that I lack in the place where my parents live that are very important for me. The first thing is trees. For some reason, where I live, which is a rural, agricultural, heavy area, I was saying, where I come from, lots of corn and wheat cultivations. People have somehow decided that trees ain't cool. I don't know why, but there are very few trees in my. I have trees in my garden, but you know, when you go outside, there is just no greenery. The cities are heavily cemented. I mean, there is very little urban greenery, which is a problem across the fucking world. Like, I don't know why people are waking up to this just now, that human beings, to feel good and not to collapse from heat, need trees. And it is so maddening that it is taking so much time for cities and municipalities to say, hey, like, maybe we should stop pouring asphalt on everything and actually start removing asphalt. Here is beautiful, especially from that point of view, because everywhere you look, you see trees everywhere, and people go to the parks and spend time in greenery. And it's not even that hot, and people are outside walking in trees, even if it rains, which is mind-boggling to me, and it is amazing. No, it doesn't fit. Mix it. Another thing here that I have access to that I don't have access where I live is pottery studios. I have been like, I really like doing pottery and clay and things, but I would like to become good at the wheel. I really like that. It was something I've always wanted to do. When I was in high school, I did this high school that we have in Italy. It's called Liceo Artistico. It's basically a type of high school where the focus is arts, so art history. I was in the architecture concentration. So the first 2 years you do like a little bit of everything. You do figurative arts, pottery, architecture, and graphic design or something similar. And then you decide in which concentration you want to focus your studies. And I chose architecture because it seemed more profitable, like from an economical point of view. Except that when high school was over, I decided to study languages. I can't concentrate on one thing for too long. I want to learn Russian. И сейчас я свободно говорю по-русски. But yeah. No, I speak Russian, French, English, Italian obviously, and I understand a bit of Ukrainian and a bit of Polish, which is great. I also understand quite a good deal of Spanish. I'm a horrible speaker of Spanish. I need to study more. That's it. Especially I like the fact that languages allow you to deeply understand something. For me, like, understanding people was always super important because I didn't understand people, and I feel like I still don't. And I spent most of my life being very confused at what people said, what people did, and why they did it. And something that helped me specifically, especially with Russian, is that the expectation for politeness and for chit-chat and double entendre in Russian are not there as much as they are in other languages. And so I lived in Russia a few times for study, and I felt like I wasn't socially awkward anymore. It was great. It was great because I didn't have to like chit-chat with people randomly just to be pleasant, and if people approach me and ask me something, it was just very direct and to the point. Also, I mean, I was in Russia with the privilege of being an Italian, which is this own thing. Like, if you're a foreigner, are treated differently, but there is this image of Italy as kind of like a magical place, and in general, like Russian people are fascinated with Italy. So when I said I'm Italian, they were first really interested, and second, they were very appreciative of me learning Russian. And so I think in this way I was in a very sheltered position as a student, as an Italian student, and as someone who like comes from the place with Venice, Rome, Florence, even if I am from the most horrible backwater town that I think exists in Italy. Debatable, like there are so many horrible places in Italy. I wish people would travel there instead of posting those stupid videos. Like, in Italy, people talk in the evening in the piazza, and then in the morning they have breakfast with an espresso at the bar, and they work to live, and they don't live to work. Life is slow. You buy produce from the farmer. Why? I hate how much people romanticize Italy and how much they romanticize the dolce vita, slow life, because it's anything but. Italy is a place that is almost inhabitable in summer. People work all the time because everything costs so much. It's almost impossible to survive. Tired people, old people are doing 2 to 3 jobs because their pension doesn't allow them to survive. Our politicians don't do shit. So like it just angers me when I see videos of these American tourists who are they are 100% allowed to enjoy their holidays. It would just be nice if they didn't portray Italy as this monolithic place that only existed in a Fellini movie from 50 years ago. When you are on vacation, you are experiencing like the best kind of life. You don't have a schedule. I mean, you don't have a schedule. The schedule is whatever you make. You have money to spend, and just because in summer maybe you see people having breakfast at the bar, look at who these people are. Okay, I have put the sugar, the yeast, and I'm going to put a lemon. So I was saying, I think at the beginning I was saying why I moved to Poland for the summer. I need a break. I need a fucking break from Italy. I need a break from my family. I need a break from the place I live, because like it's stifling, and even just thinking now about it makes me want to crawl out of my skin because it is so dull. And also I have very little friends there. Not that here I have any friends, but I don't know. Loneliness feels more bearable when it doesn't come with the burden of boredom and dullness. Sometimes when I hang out with people, with acquaintances in Italy, I feel very sad. I feel very bored and dull because simply like I think it's part of the mentality of my town, my region. Most people have a very similar kind of life. I don't feel understood, and I don't feel nourished by the connections that I have. There are people I love dearly because I've seen them grow up. I literally know them since they were children, and I will never stop loving those people. But those are not the connections that help me grow. They're not the connections that nourish my soul and my mind. And I mean, I studied languages, I traveled a lot, and it simply means that most of my best friends are pretty much everywhere around the world, and some of them I haven't seen in 10 years. Which hurts. It hurts a little bit. This is done. I will do some research whether I can put fruit in it to aromatize it. I will simply leave it here to ferment. Okay, but guys, I have a hard time describing you the anguish and how soulless it makes me feel to live there, how much I want to escape, and I've tried many times. I always end up somewhere that I like, or I half like. Things go well for a bit, and then things go to shit. There is unlucky, and then there is being lazy, and I am a bit of a mix of the two. And now I'm trying to address being lazy, and I'm trying to just be unlucky, you know. I don't think I need my help in not enjoying life. I don't enjoy life as it is. I never enjoyed being alive. It's just like, I don't know, I wish it could end sooner. And I feel like most of the time I'm just waiting for it to end, and I'm just finding new ways to fill the time slot I have until the blessed day that I am no more. Dark, maybe, I don't care. I think that if assisted suicide was more accessible, lots of people would do it. And I completely understand people who decide to leave this world. It makes sense. Now, it is also sad to think this way, because if I think about any of the people I know, and if they were to do something like that, I would be devastated. And I know that I would miss them every second of my day. At the same time, I don't feel like that applies to me. And yeah, I know logically that some people would be sad. But also, it's a part of life. You know? Boromir didn't make it to the end with the fellowship. It was sad. He was grieved. But no reason to stop on his account, right? I want to talk about something a little bit more uplifting. Art. There are so many beautiful things in the world, in existence, for which, I don't know, the world is better existence is better for, you know? And part of that is, I think, art. I mean, what? Okay, let's list how many things are worth living for. Food, trees, flowers. I mean, plants in general. The chill wind, like wind when it's like not too strong, like a breeze are amazing. Smells, like the smells of nature, that is great. I love smelling flowers. I love when I'm in like among the trees, it has just rained and I can smell the humidity on the leaves. That is amazing. That is like one of the things that makes me happy. The smell of strawberries and like beautiful colors on canvas, colors on flowers, and like animals, and you know, those animals that give you joy, whether that is your turtle, your pet snake, or your kitten, or your senior dog. Those things are amazing. But can you remember the last time you walked under the leaves and you heard the wind rustling through them, or you heard the tip-tap of a light rain on the grass? Can you remember the last time that happened in your life and you were there in the moment and you were not sending emails or checking your socials or like feeling despair at the state of the world? Can you remember the last time you were there and enjoyed that specific sensation? Can you? Because I have a hard time being there and just staying there without some other thought creeping in and ruining that moment. Like, I see a cute cat and I immediately think of all the cats that are suffering right now. I see cows and I think, oh my god, they are so cute, so adorable, and I think they were probably going to be killed for eating. I don't know, like, I feel it's almost as if every good thing at some point becomes polluted, and it has been polluted from the world, and then it becomes further polluted in our mind. And it takes so much effort, so much concentration to be in the moment and to be happy, not to be anxious, not to be stressed. And at some point I feel like, you know, there's so much maintenance to do just to be somewhat well, that if you had to do that much maintenance on an appliance just to keep it functioning, you would throw it away. Yeah, probably it's better if I keep making this cake. Okay, I'm back. And I'm okay. I'm going to therapy. I'm medicated. I'm not going to, you know. But yeah, I mean, I would lie if I said that I had not thought about it. I think this is baking powder. Who knows? I'm gonna sprinkle some in here. I want to keep the batter on the drier side just because I know that the apples are going to release their own juice. You know, sometimes you need to make food that you can consume without consulting a Michelin star chef. Fuck perfectionism. I'm done with this. Perfectionism. Really, I'm done trying to make everything perfect, and I'm so tired of putting this very high standards on myself when honestly I haven't gotten anywhere good because of my perfectionism. The world has not cared. Most of the times people don't even notice my effort, and I just make myself miserable. So at least with food I want to, just make it to eat it. About measurements, sometimes people say, hey, could I have the recipe for that? And I'm like, sure, I will give you the ingredient list. And more or less what I do, because I don't use measurements. Okay, this shit is ugly, and if you hurl it on someone's head, you are probably going to... Fuck. Forgot to press the recording button. I ended up having to clean this whole drawer. At least now it's clean. And I popped the plum cake in the oven. I don't know why the oven makes that sound, why the fans are working so much, but I will let you know how it turns out. I will record a little clip for you. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Editing Veronica, it was in fact not going to be okay. I did not record the little clip for you because of the simple reason this plum cake turned out disgusting. I mean, I ate it, but it wasn't good. I would not recommend you to try making it, and thankfully I don't even remember how I made it, so I cannot replicate this god-awful concoction. So if you have watched until now, thank you. Was very ranty, I realized this. Maybe you related. If you related, I'm really sorry for you. I send you a hug. Please don't off yourself. Don't give into the despair. Don't be like Artax in the swamp. There is always an Atreyu out of the swamp that is asking you not to give into the sadness, that is desperate that you might give into the sadness. And so, think about Artax and Atreyu, and I hope you have an Atreyu. I think I do. It's my cat. Thank you. Feel free to leave a comment. Bye.